Home Alone, or Die Hard in a House, tells the story of four deviants who seek to disrupt the cheer of the holiday season.
First, you have a pair of crowbar-swinging career criminals.
You also have a Santa-esque serial killer known as the South Bend Shovel Slayer.
The most diabolical of the bunch, you have an evil mastermind. This young, twisted soul plays mind games with his victims, luring them into his domain of torture and pain.
But the terror doesn't stop there. This holiday horror show also features people hung from hooks,
Mummification, venomous spider attacks,
children locked in the morgue with rotting corpses, lunatics on the loose,
a possessed fire-breathing furnace, and mob hits galore.
And of course, John, the movie we just watched is the 1990 John Hughes, Christopher Columbus holiday film, Home Alone.
Yes, that is a true horror classic, in my opinion.
Yes. The most confusing thing about this rewatch for me and this movie is thinking I'm watching Harry Potter every time I close my eyes. Boy, this John Williams is known for sounding very similar in scores. I'll tell you right now, this is Harry Potter score before Harry Potter score.
I think the score elevates this movie.
Hell yeah.
I mean, I'm stealing this a bit from that Netflix special, but I guess they had some cheesy, somebody else hired to do the score that was just kind of a typical comedy type of score. And then they were like, oh shit, if we can get John Williams, and he was willing to do the movie. And it changed the movie and elevated it in ways that they could have never expected.
Oh yeah, I poke fun about the Harry Potter similarities, but God, getting John Williams to do a movie like this, this scale, like...
So Ben, I have a question for you that has been posed on the internet. Did Kevin McAllister grow up to be the Jigsaw killer from Saw?
He very well could have. They have the same mindset.
People seem to think that that's a possibility, that Home Alone is the original Saw movie.
He's resourceful, so he didn't have bear traps and giant, belt sanders to torture people with, so he used micro machines.
I imagine if he did, he would have been happy to use them.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much gets just as violent, but when you put a fun, loving music over it...
The maniacal glee that he has as he shoots someone in the face with a BB gun or in the balls, he's a twisted little fucker.
When I was a kid, I was always terrified for Kevin. These lunatics are coming in to maim and murder him. As an adult, when I watch it, I'm more scared. I'm scared for them because I know it happens
nowadays,
to them.
Right?
Yeah. Kevin's having a fucking blast the whole time.
Yeah.
He's not worried. He's never even scared.
That when they do capture him, he kind of, he looks a bit terrified.
Yeah, and a murderer rescues him.
That's when they hang him on the hook.
Yeah.
Very reminiscent of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
It is, and they want to cannibalize him.
Yes,
they want to eat his fingers off, and it's fucking scary, man.
It's very Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We've
seen Joe Pesci scary before, but Daniel Stern, this is the scariest I've ever seen him for sure.
Yeah, I mean, just the torture that they're put through. If you actually had that happen to a real human, like throw a paint can at their head,
oh my
pretty
God,
much be dead instantly.
The nail in the foot's the most cringy one to me, and to this day, A Quiet Place stole that. Yeah. Straight up stole that. Okay, so right off the bat, Joe Pesci's character, Harry, he's already stalking Kevin. He knows somehow that the parents are going to leave him behind. Don't ask me how he knows, he just knows, all right?
It's a horror Christmas classic like no other.
The scariest moment in Home Alone is when he goes,
I made my family disappear.
And he just puts on that fucking grin, like, what a little fucking sicko.
I thought the scariest moment was sleeping in and missing your alarm.
Yeah.
Most frightening for me. Having to rush to the airport in 45 minutes, the Chicago airport.
Yeah, O'Hare.
That's a horror show in itself.
Another really scary scene is when he goes down to the basement.
The fire-breathing furnace.
Which we bring up at the beginning, but oh my God, like I had all that same kind of stuff, the imagery. Obviously those things didn't really move, but when you're a kid, in your mind, they are moving.
Yeah. Well, and even like when he finally sits down to watch the movie that he wasn't allowed to watch from the night before.
Scares the shit out of him.
Apparently has all this violence. This movie's enjoyable for all ages.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
I think this movie is so detailed in the writing, and it's so spot on for not just a kid, but for a big family. Like, there's so much detail. Like the dinner scene where the whole family's there at the beginning. I want to rewatching it the other day. I'm like, God, it's one of those really great scenes I've always wanted to shoot, where it's a bunch of people in the room and there's all this dialogue going on, but it's not necessarily, the camera's not necessarily on the people talking. It's just sort of surveilling the room. And there's lines like, Fuller, go easy on the Pepsi. You guys are gonna have to pour your own drinks. There's all these like wonderful, just everyday, average, real things that people say, you know, just like throughout it. Like, oh, did you get the cheese? Is there just a plain cheese? Like, it just, I don't know. There's something about that scene. And what it's doing is it's establishing, whether you like it or not, it's opening up the conversation and showing you who this family is and what the dynamic of the family is, and it's letting you know that any one of those kids could have been Kevin, because everyone's kind of talking over each other and they're all talking at the same time. And that scene, whether you know it or not, establishes why they forget him, because there's so much going on and so many people, you know?
As you're pointing out, like all these little details that really help sell why a kid could truly be left behind. Like, sure, there's you have to buy into certain things in the movie, but it does a really good job of selling why they forgot him and how it all took place. I mean, everything with the power going out and causing them to wake up late, and so they're rushing. The best thing really is the kid, the neighbor that comes over and gets head counted with his back to the sister.
Yes, such a good detail.
That's the thing that sells everything, and they don't make a big point of it. He's just over there asking his questions, playing with yo-yos or whatever he finds in the bag.
It's just a neighbor kid.
That quick moment where she touches his head. The other one is I don't even know. I think maybe I noticed it for the first time this watch, or it just really stood out to me this time. Was the ticket being thrown away when they're cleaning up the Pepsi. The first time the dad grabs a bunch of napkins to cover all the tickets, he accidentally throws a single ticket in the trash can.
Dude, that's right.
And that's so key to why they would miscount when they got to the airport in the final moments of getting on the plane.
And you don't see any of this shit when you're a kid. You're just like, oh, these are shitty parents that left their kid.
Yeah, great setups early in a film, or even if it's a setup that's just going to pay off a few minutes later. But it's like a subtle setup that you know, you have this great reward when you finally get a nice payoff later in the film. And even points of like, hey, I can't watch the R-rated movie, and when he's left at home, you get to see what that was, and then he utilizes it throughout the movie. Yeah. It's like, it's got all kinds of wonderful things in it.
Yeah, it does, and that's one of his early fears he has and gets over, because the movie scares the shit out of him when he didn't think it was going to. And what kid doesn't love a big, hot, steamy, fucking Chicago cheese pizza, too?
Oh,
you know?
Hell yeah.
That's the first instance of him torturing somebody who's just a 16-year-old pizza boy who doesn't get a tip, which is the first big fuck you that he gives him. And then he torments them with that movie and fireworks. Or he doesn't use the fireworks in that scene. He uses it when the wet bandits show up.
He uses it to make
because he's got to ramp it up and sell it more,
But I love all of those smaller characters. Like we're talking about the pizza boy.
John Candy.
John Candy.
We sold 623 copies of that.
The Santa Claus.
Let your little paw there.
Yeah, gives him the Tic Tacs and then his car won't start. It's just like, those
are blowing the smoke away.
Little details. This rewatch, I realized Hope Davis plays the French stewardess or whatever, or the French flight attendant that's trying to help.
If you want to stay at the airport.
Which now that I realize that, it makes me like realize how fake
her accent is.
Yeah, it's movie making, so I don't think I ever watched it going, oh, these scenes were shot in France. I mean, yes, they're not shot in France, but it kind of ruins even the effect that they ever went to France when you're like, wait, Hope Davis is the one on the other end.
Well, they couldn't get a French actress for that one scene?
I know.
Now, if you want to stay at the airport, maybe we can get you on standby.
But then you have like the old couple, or a great little couple that gets the ticket.
You got a whole shoebox full of them dangly ones.
I love all of those little characters and their little moments.
Catherine O'Hara is amazing. She's the heart of the movie for sure. John Hurt, he doesn't really, as much as I loved him as an actor, God rest his soul, he doesn't really have any character traits. He doesn't care that much that they left him behind. Not really.
No.
I think one of the best performances is definitely the fucking Shovel Slayer. Like, he's excellent.
He's
that
pretty
guy.
great. Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Well, he does remind me of someone, but
he's an old man.
One thing that bugs me in the movie, on this rewatch especially, how much it stands out. Well, he's in the church with Santa Shovel Slayer, and the bell starts ringing in the church, and he realizes, I gotta get home. And if it was 8 o'clock, it rings 8 times. So he spends, from the time he leaves the church to the times the Wet Bandits show up at 9 o'clock.
They say 9, right?
Yes. He does all of that shit to prepare, including make the stairs freeze. He's got an hour. And then he still has time to sit down and make his little Kraft macaroni and cheese.
But he doesn't eat any of it.
He doesn't get a chance. But
you're so right. I always think about that. He does all that so fucking...
And he draws the plan, I think, in that amount of time,
Yeah,
too.
you would think he would have done that before he went to the church. You know? But no, it's funny. Your problem with it, I completely agree with. My problem's the same thing. There's a timing and pacing issue with this movie that doesn't... My big issue with the movie, and it's always bothered me, is how when Catherine O'Hara shows up in the morning, the rest of the family gets there 1 minute later. It makes no sense.
There's a line from John
but he goes, we took an earlier flight. How would they not? It makes no sense. There's no way they would show up 1 minute later. Maybe 3 or 4 hours later.
She does say that she's gone. She didn't fly just to Scranton or wherever she catches a ride with John Candy. She went to 3 other airports trying to get to Scranton.
Yeah.
So she kind of wastes time getting, to where she meets up with him, and the family apparently catches up.
I feel it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. It's like they're right, and I get it. It's the age of no cell phone.
Christmas.
It's the age of no cell phone, but for how rich that fucking guy was, you'd figure he'd have the big Zach Morris phone or something.
Yes. That's the thing. The way the film ends, the family has no idea, because he even says it. They're like, "Oh, what were you up to?" And he's like,
just sort of hung around.
which obviously there was this whole night of adventure and fighting off criminals, but I kind of feel like, well, the movie, again, does a good job that he smartly, apparently, uses the neighbor's address when he calls to the police and says, hey, come to this house, and goes to that house. And so he basically leads the criminals there so that there's no sign they were ever in his own home and that there's no connection to the police. Because that's what, while it was wrapping up, watching it, I was like, wait, aren't the police gonna have to talk to him or
no? He did
want to know where his parents are?
He was really smart,
but he actually figured that one out.
Yeah,
which is actually
he got out scot-free, and I do love that fucking self-congratulatory wave that he gives Harry at the end. That just sold the movie right there. Like, he was just like, I just fucked you guys so bad.
But I can't help but think, I know we have a sequel, and there is a bit of revenge taken in the sequel, but
I don't mind the sequel.
No, I like the sequel, but in a real sense, that wave to a guy who's going away based on everything
would come back and murder you.
At the second he got out, he would find you and fucking kill you.
Yeah. And another good detail is when he does go to that house, that's the house that they hit before, and Marv had turned on the thing. So when he goes down to the basement, it's like a foot deep of water. That's a nice detail.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, clearly they knew that ahead of time. They could have had him go to some other neighbor's house, but it was funner that they went there and you see that what those assholes do to people's houses.
Based on their plan and schedule for the week, any house on that block may be in the same situation.
Yeah, so think about how bad they fucked people, like, for the new year. They just ruined their homes.
They tore families' lives apart with their destructive ways.
So what if they slip on some fucking micro machines? They fucked people's plumbings and floor. I mean, think about the florists. New carpet? Fuck you, man. I'll fucking iron the shit out of your face. Do that to my house.
I do have a similar complaint with this movie that I had for Krampus. Too much screaming. All the fucking...
Marv's scream is way worse than the second one, too. It's ramped up even further. The spider.
It's kind of the funniest part of the movie.
I'm sorry, if I had a house like that and I lived in Chicago again, I spent 2 Christmases in Chicago and they were 2 of the best Christmases of my life. And I lived in a tiny little brownstone garden apartment building in college. And I loved every second of it. If I had a house like that in the suburbs of Chicago, I wouldn't go to France on Christmas, and I certainly wouldn't go to Florida, which they go to in the next movie. What the fuck are they thinking? Like, you're robbing your kids of these child memories of Christmas.
Yeah, I thought he was going for business in this film.
No, in the first one he's just going because his brother moved out there, and the daughter still goes to school in America, so she hasn't moved to France yet. She's the one who's like, you les incompetents, because she's learning French to move back out there.
Yes.
It's kind of depressing, actually. This poor teenage girl has to go move to France and get hit on by freaky French dudes.
Home for the holidays.
Exactly.
Until the criminals get inside.
This is it. Don't get scared now.